Hello everyone, my name is Quynh Giao. I'm from Duong Thi Quynh Primary School. Today we're going to study Unit 11 in the museum. Lesson 2, Drama. Now open your book to page 81. There were are the past simple forms of there is. There are. Affirmative form. There was plus singular noun. There were plus plural noun. Example. There was a big park near here. There were some old cars in the museum. There was is followed by an. There were is followed by a number or some. There wasn't. There weren't. There wasn't and there weren't are the past simple negative forms of there isn't, there aren't. Negative form. Long forms. There was not. There were not. Short forms. There wasn't. There weren't. Example. There wasn't a bus stop outside. There weren't any computers. There wasn't plus countable noun is followed by an or a number. There weren't, we use any or a number. Was there, were there are the past simple interrogative forms of is there and are there. Interrogative form. Was there. Were there. Short answers. Was there? Yes, there was. No, there wasn't. Were there? Yes, there were. No, there weren't. Example. Was there a train station near here? Yes, there was. No, there wasn't. Were there any computers? Yes, there were. No, there weren't. We use an before countable noun. After was there. After were there, we use any or a number. Now, listen and repeat.
Listen and repeat.
There was a park in our town 50 years ago. There wasn't a shopping mall in our town 50 years ago. There were some funny trains 100 years ago. There weren't any planes 200 years ago.
We use lots of or some with there were. We use any with there weren't. 3. Read and circle. 1. There were a park in our town 100 years ago. Which one you choose? Was or were? A park is a singular noun. We use was. 2. Were trains plural noun. There were trains 100 years ago. 3. There was or were. A hotel is a singular noun. We use was. There was a hotel in the town 10 years ago. 4. There was or were. Lots of buses, plural noun. Were. There were lots of buses 20 years ago. 4. Look and write. Was, were, wasn't, weren't. Number 1. There wasn't a singer at the party last Saturday. An example. Number 2. There weren't 8 children at the party. 3. There weren't any flowers in the room. 4. There was a CD player in the room. 5. There were lots of sandwiches at the party. 6. There wasn't a TV in the room. It's time for workbook. Open your workbook to page 75. Lesson 2. Grammar. 1. Write there was or there were. Number 1. A hotel. We use there was. There was a hotel in our town 100 years ago. An example. 2. There was or there were trolleys, plural nouns. There were trolleys in our town 100 years ago. 3. Some buses, plural noun. There were some buses. 4. A park. There was or there were. There was, because a park is a singular noun. 5. Lots of bikes, plural nouns. Which one? There were lots of bikes. 6. A museum, singular noun. There was a museum. 2. Write there was, there were, there wasn't, or there weren't. Look at 2 pictures. Picture 1 is at 7 o'clock. Picture 2 is at 10 o'clock. Number 1. There weren't any books at 7 o'clock. Number 2. At 10 o'clock. There were some flowers at 10 o'clock. Number 3. There wasn't a camera at 7 o'clock. Number 4. There was a computer at 10 o'clock. 5. There wasn't a banana at 7 o'clock. 6. There weren't any pens at 7 o'clock. 7. There was a camera at 10 o'clock. I think that's enough for you today.